What's going on, boys and girls? Steve Oatley here, making some videos. I'm gonna talk. Hold on one second. I'm just adding some of these other groups in here, and then I will start my show. We already got some viewers. I think we got enough here. All right. Well, my name is Steve Oatley, and I host this little show called Freight Broker Live that I started making, and I started making it because I wanted to. I don't really need another reason, but I cover news. I cover different sales techniques and freight. You know, I used to own trucks. I used to dispatch. I used to do a bunch of stuff. So this is my show. So here's my little intro video, and then we'll get started. All right. So as I said in the beginning, today I've got a couple of news stories to cover, not too many. And bear with me because I'm going to try to make this as smooth as possible to transition and see the news and the stuff that I'm talking about. And hopefully all the pictures are aligned and all that good stuff, but they're probably not. So just bear with me. But I try to cover stuff that's current, current events and things like that. So first, starting off, we all know that GM, there's still a big strike going on. Today was the first announced company laid off 50, I believe it was 56 carriers or 56 drivers due to this, and that company's Phoenix Transit and Logistics. They laid off 56, and they said that they're losing $100,000 a day. And that is the problem. If you're a carrier, if you're a broker, this is one of the issues that you got to realize. Don't base all your business on one company. Part of the issue too is they had a bunch of freight that was going into GM, and GM refused to take those loads. There's no one there. They're all on strike. So now they have their trailers are full too. So they literally can't go out and make any more money. Oh, this is auto switching. And then the next article that I thought was pretty interesting, a second tech company wants to use cameras in place of rear view mirrors on trucks. They want to put them, like you can see in the photo there. They want to put them on the A-frame members. And I guess there's some perks. It gives a wider range of visibility. It may eliminate that dead spot based on cameras and predictability. I don't really know too much about it. I just thought it was pretty interesting because I didn't realize that Stone Ridge last year got an exception basically for their mirror eye system, and so they're able to produce those and not have external rear view mirrors sticking out of the truck, which I thought was pretty interesting. But then this guy, if you guys don't know who he is, the FBI is given a $5,000 reward for the capture of this guy. Apparently in 2017, he beat up a guy and yelled anti-Semitic stuff at him in Ohio. Why did that switch? I don't know. Let me switch through all these again. Sorry. But he apparently, attacked some random guy and said all sorts of anti-Semitic stuff. And then he was supposed to turn himself into a jail in West Virginia, and he disappeared. And the reason why it's kind of funny to post that is because it said, he may be acting like a truck driver or a dispatcher. And I don't know. I just thought that was funny because he has, a connection to the trucking industry again, I guess. It's funny. FBI is giving a $5,000 reward for him, so they want him pretty bad apparently. And then as always, OTR Capital is someone I refer quite a bit in these videos. I like them a lot. I think they're great to work with. If you're looking for a factoring company who's top of the line and they're honest, you can visit my site, which is www.freightbrokerlive.com. Click on the partners tab. You'll see this logo there. Click on the logo and it'll bring you to a landing page where you can sign up. If you're a carrier, we could do 3.5%. And a broker's, it's a little bit different depending on what kind of plan you're on. But they're just a very good, upfront and honest factoring company. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, factoring isn't a necessity. No one needs a factoring company. Well, some people do. And if you're going to be forced to work with a factoring company, you might as well work with a good factoring company, in my opinion. And out of all the ones that I've worked with in the past, as a dispatcher, as a carrier, I think they're the best ones, which is why I always refer them. I refer them all the time. I just like them. But all right, so and then the Q&A portion, like I always do. I'm just gonna jump right into this real quick, a little promo. What's up, guys? It's Steve, your favorite freight broker. Wanted to just make this quick commercial and tell you about something that I'm sure you've never heard me say before. Our gift card giveaway. So on the 10th of every month, we go through our list of patrons, we randomize the list, we randomize it 5 times live on the air, and then we choose the top 3, and then we give you either first place gets a $100 gift card, second place gets a $75 gift card, third place gets a $50 gift card. It's going to happen every month on the 10th of every month. Sign up below. It's www.patron.com, Freight Broker Live. See you guys back in the show. All right. Well, with that out there, so let's answer some questions. We got Rishi said, "Hey, buddy, what's up, bud?" James said, "What's up? What's up, buddy?" Molly said, "Okay," because Molly messaged me when I was going live because she had a question she wanted to ask. So we'll answer that question. Molly said, "So here we go. I have a hold on. Let me make this bigger so I can actually read it." Molly said, "Here we go. I have a carrier claiming his trailer was damaged while at the customer facility getting unloaded. So I asked the customer if they had any reports of the damage, and negative. So long story short, he said, she said, what do you suggest? Nothing. It has nothing to do with you. If his trailer was damaged by the shipper or by the customer, by the receiver, no matter what, you're not the one that handles claims. So if his trailer is damaged at a customer facility, then it's the driver's responsibility to get the insurance information of the carrier or of the customer and deal with the claim direct. You don't deal with that. If you try to get in the middle of it, then you're just asking for trouble. You could say, like, because I had the same thing happen actually to me. I had a forklift. The driver didn't pay attention, and he stuck his forks through the side of one of our box trucks. Because he was loading it. I don't even know how he did it. He basically went at a weird angle and stuck one of the forks right out the side of the box truck. And we didn't, the driver noticed it and called me, and I'm like, okay, I don't really know what to do here. And we ended up just refusing to leave. And then we couldn't get the insurance information from the carrier or from the customer rather. So we called the police and had them file a police report for damage. And then we took it to the insurance company. And then from there, the insurance companies took care of it and they resided the truck. But I've had I had a driver that I dispatched on the trucking side when I had the dispatch company, and he was backing out, or he was pulling out. That's what I don't understand. He brand new trailer, which is the funniest thing. He was pulling out of a warehouse and he clipped like a wooden pillar, I guess. And it didn't damage his trailer at all, but it cracked this pillar. So they did the same thing. The customer, called the police to get a police report done for the insurance, and then the insurance all takes care of it. But in terms of you being a broker and you're hiring out a carrier and there's damage done to his truck, you tell that carrier when he calls you, you got to deal with the shipper or the receiver directly. That's on them. It's not on us at all. It doesn't affect your pay, anything like that. That's the easiest way to deal with it. If they haven't delivered the load yet, then say, hey, listen, I'll see what I can do. Make sure they deliver the load, because you don't want them saying, well, you got to pay for my truck, or trying to hold it hostage that way, even though there's ways around that. But just avoid all that and just have them deliver the load. And then from there, you can figure it out. But what else? We got another question here. James said, you said yesterday you have a corporation. You pay yourself a percentage or a base salary from the corporation? So I pay myself, it's not a percentage basically. So I leave some money in the account always, because I always have business purchases that I make. But I pay myself, just whatever I choose to do, and I just take taxes. So I don't draw like a regular salary. So like if one week I want to pay myself $1,000, then I put it into the system and say, okay, this is what my pay is, and then it kicks it back. Yeah, if that answers. I know some that pay themselves a base salary and then just pay themselves like a commission later. Me, it's just basic, because it's just me. So I just pay myself what I need. On paper, I draw $1,000 a week anyway. So like, even if it's lower, I'm still paying taxes on $1,000 a week because I want to, even if I don't take the money necessarily, because I want to have some sort of regular income coming in. That way it's not hard for banks or anything like that. But I'm pretty frugal in managing the money back and forth. I think that's very crucial in the industry, is to make sure that, for taxes and all that stuff, it makes sense. But I'm not a tax guy, so I don't know much about it. All I know is I just pay it, and I pay the employer taxes and all that crap every quarter. So Lindsay said hello. I don't know why I just highlighted that. Molly said awesome, thanks. Mike said, whose favorite broker are you? Well, there's 71 people watching right now, so I would say conservative. I'm probably 4 or 5 of their favorite brokers. I'm my favorite broker. How about that? But Josh said, what's up, pimp? What's up? So now I'll go into the normal stuff like I always do. So this morning, it started out like, I'm cutting. You guys all know that. I don't need to keep mentioning it, but today is one of the days where I'm really not eating a lot. I had just toast with peanut butter at breakfast, no lunch. I'm skipping it. And then dinner, we're ordering Domino's because that's like what I like to do before a competition. And I'm already at weight. I was 279 this morning. So you want to talk about weight, go back and watch some of the other videos. When I started this shit, I was at 297. So that's what, 19, 18 pounds in a week and a half. So it's working, but I feel like shit. So, that's the downside of cutting weight for a competition is I don't feel good. I haven't gone to the gym too, so I'm super high strung and have aggression and all that, but 2 more days and then I get to eat. But yep. So this morning I woke up and I was like, oh, okay, today's going to be a good day. I was in a good mood. I was playing with the kids, which in the morning, I'm not a morning person. So I don't really, I don't talk. Like my wife and I, I go, morning, can I have toast? That's it. I don't even say good morning. I don't say anything. I'm not, plus I've been sleeping on the couch because our little guy keeps crawling into bed and I'm too big. So I'm afraid I'm going to roll over and my arm's going to land on him or something in the middle of the night. My wife says that I've done that a couple of times where I like outstretch and then she gets like a 40-pound arm across her face at night. She doesn't like it very much. And I'm worried about doing that to the little guy. So I've just been going out on the couch and sleeping on the couch, which is fine. It's a big couch. It works. But I fell asleep early enough and I woke up and I was in a good mood and I'm playing with the boys and all that stuff, getting them ready. And then I checked my email and I sent out a quote last night and said I could move these. This guy had a partial load. It was too small piece of equipment, but it was heavy. It was 18,000 pounds, but it takes up 18 foot of space on the trailer. So I'm like, all right. And I quoted him the rate and I quoted a full truckload rate. I wasn't even thinking about it last night because it was late. So I quoted him a full truckload rate, a low full truckload rate. So it was going from California to like Illinois, I think, or something like that. And the lane rate said it was 34. I quoted the guy 32. Again, I wasn't paying attention. I was tired. Didn't really pay attention. Well, I woke up this morning and he booked the load. And I'm looking at it and he's not on. He's like, yeah, you get it when you want, deliver when you want, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. So then I looked at the rate and I realized, okay, full truckloads are going for 34. And I'm like, this is half a truck. So I put it out there I thought I was putting it out for 2,000 and making a bunch of money myself. But I ended up putting it out for 22. And I knew because of the lane, the phones were going to blow up. Like I said, I've been doing it a lot. So depending on what lanes there are, I'll either post it with the rate and my phone number, or I'll post it with the rate in an email. So I did. I posted it with the rate in my email and sat back. And within 10 minutes, I had 30 or 40 different carriers that picked it up. Now, for everyone that wonders about what is the right expression there? For everyone that wonders about how it's beneficial for a carrier to take partials, this guy, because I talked to him in detail. So this guy already has a full truckload. So he's getting full truckload money already on his truck. It was 10 foot of space. So then him taking my load, and I paid him $2,200 for it. So I made $1,000. I paid him $2,250. So I made $1,000 on that load. He's now making essentially a truck and a half's rate for the same lane. And then he calls me and he's like, hey, do you care if I put one of these machines on the upper deck? Because then I found another parcel. And I'm like, no, I don't care, as long as it's not getting damaged and you can get it down at the shipper, put it wherever you want. And so he's doing that, and he's maximizing that. That truck is going to make so much money. He's probably going to average $4 a mile, $5 a mile on a 2,000 mile run. You know, and that's the benefit of doing partials, is when you combine them all together, it's good. It's good. And for me as a broker, it's great. It's the first time I shipped with this customer. He's super ecstatic because I was able to cover it really fast. And luckily, it wasn't one of the instances where I quoted it incorrectly and then had to take a dive on a load, which I may not do for a first time shipper unless it's, you know, unless I think they're going to be big. You know, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, that was my morning. And then I booked one regular load, and then I had a load carrier fall off. So I was paying a carrier $1,000 to bring one little partial 400 miles or something like that. Or I was paying him $900 and I was making $100 on it. And then I was like, you know, or he called and he's like, listen, the shipper refused our previous load, so we have to take it back. We don't have room for yours. So I canceled it with the customer. But in our system, as soon as I take the carrier off, it automatically posts the load right back out to the boards. So as soon as I cancel it, as I'm typing the email to my customer, as soon as I took the carrier off, it posted out, and then I got a bunch of calls on it. And so I stopped typing the email to my customer, and I found a carrier to do it for $850. And I didn't, you know, I just said, I'm offering $800. He's like, can you meet me in the middle at $9? I said, I'll do $850. Very basic negotiating skills. And so I ended up making $150 off of that load. Now, if you think about it, that's pretty good for you know, a profit margin for the day. You know, $150 profit on one load. Second load, or the first load of the day, was $1,000. Second load, $150. That's pretty good. It gives you a good idea of how much a broker can make. And for example, the first truck, I could have offered him $1,500. He was going to take it because he's already running the lane anyway. You know, and that's why I quote it as a partial. And I had enough money in it that if I couldn't find a carrier for the $2,200, I would have just upped the rate and paid more because I had way more in it. But I'm not going to go back and say, and this is the thing that bugs me about cheap freight. When people talk about cheap freight, cheap brokers, and there's some people that will be watching this video. I'm sure they're not going to chime in here, but I have 76 people right now apparently watching this, which is nuts. But there's some drivers out there that are going to say, oh, no, why would a broker make that much money? You're stealing from the carrier. There's no reason to pay for you to make that much money. You should already pay the carrier more. Well, there's no reason for the carrier to make it either. They're doing it because it's, you know, they have space on their trailer. They're already getting full truckload money and they're running the load. You know, I that cheap freight, that broker bashing, those arguments, I never really understood. I never did. I still don't. You know, I wish some people would be more open to using their head, I guess is the right way to say it. But it just seems like a lot of people don't use their head in this industry. You know, like I said, every single day I got people that call. I post all my rates, which is different than other people. But I have people that call and they're like, hey, you know, I see it's posted for $1,000, especially after I say what the rate is. And I say, listen, I'm posting it. It's $1,000. It's $1,000 firm. And they're like, oh, well, can you do this? Can you do that? No, but I can't. It doesn't work that way. You know, it's a rate. It's a hard rate. That's what it is. I can't pay any more. I can't pay any less. I could pay less, but why would I? You know, but so this week is good, you know, but in all reality, I need to get 2 of these $1,000 profit loads every single day, every single week for the next 26 weeks to get to my $10,000 or my $300,000 goal in 6 months. So I'm starting to, even after that, I made the goal like 3 days ago, but I'm starting to think maybe that won't happen. It'd be nice if it did, but I'm starting to think it's not going to, unfortunately. But what can you do? But I'm going to play this video again, get a drink of water. You guys think of some questions. What's up, guys? It's Steve, your favorite freight broker. Wanted to just make this quick commercial and tell you about something that I'm sure you've never heard me say before. Our gift card giveaway. So on the 10th of every month, we go through our list of patrons. We randomize the list. We randomize it 5 times live on the air. And then we choose the top 3. And then we give you either first place gets a $100 gift card, second place gets a $75 gift card, third place gets a $50 gift card. It's going to happen every month on the 10th of every month. Sign up below. It's www.patron.com, Freight Broker Live. See you guys back in the show. Got to turn back on the mic. That doesn't make sense. But there, I fixed it. The comments are delayed, but I fixed it. But yeah, at any rate, I got all this high-tech microphone. I forget how to turn it back on, but it's on now. But at any rate, like I was saying, I don't really have a game plan in today's video. So you guys asked, today's the time to ask the questions. I don't remember if I got any yesterday afterwards. I don't think I did. I'm going to check real quick and see. And if you guys have any particular questions or anything like that, type them out. Answer some shit. But yeah, I mean, today my brain's not here. My brain's not here because I've been doing I'm just getting ready for the competitions. I'm not really paying attention to work. I'm not really doing anything really. Hey, so here's the topic for carriers out there and for new brokers too. If you're a new broker, and Lydia, I'll get to your question in a second. If you're a new broker, do not promise to pay quick pay and then not do it to your carrier because it completely screws them over. I had someone call me yesterday or message me yesterday and said, hey, the first question was, hey, my husband has a carrier company and the broker isn't paying on a load. What should we do? And so I asked this very specific question so I could do research as we're going through it. I said, who is a broker? And I said, why are they not paying? Because that's key, And they put it out, and I'm not going to broadcast the broker, but because I don't think it's as cut and dry as that. I mean, maybe the broker said that he would pay him because essentially the broker was not approved by factoring. There's number one. If the broker isn't approved by factoring and they don't offer some sort of quick pay and you're not sure if you're going to get paid, then don't work with them. If they're not approved by factoring, but you're pretty sure you got a good feeling and you think you're going to get paid, then go with it. But apparently this broker told this carrier that, hey, listen, we'll pay you within 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. You would think, get it in writing. They said it over the phone. They didn't get anything in writing. And then, they put a big message out saying they weren't with our factoring company. So they told us to go straight with them and they will give us quick pay in 24 hours. So we decided it's fine because there are no loads on where they were. So they just took the load anyway. So I asked them for a copy of the Raycon because that's the first thing I wanted to see. For one, the broker's under no obligation to pay fast. He's under the obligation to pay whatever his terms are. If his terms in the broker contract say 30 days, then he pays 30 days. Now that's just under his obligation. If you tell someone that you're going to pay him within 24 hours, you should pay him within 24 hours. The only reason I'm not broadcasting this broker out there is because I don't know the whole scenario. I only hear it from one person. This broker's been around for a little bit, so they're not new. So they should be approved by a factoring company. For whatever reason, they're not. But they sent me their Raycon, and I am going to make a video about Raycons. It's going to be in that Freight and 8 videos. So you should, make sure if you haven't already, sign up for the Patron plan because those Freight and 8 videos should start coming out next week. And I'm going to go over broker Raycons. I'm going to show you a whole bunch of them with all the pertinent information blanketed out. But because I was a dispatcher, I have thousands of them. So I'm going to go through and separate, take all the shit out, but just show you the terms and conditions. I'll show you mine. I'll show you, what you need to pay attention. the terms and conditions on this broker's paperwork, if I was a carrier, I would have said, fuck this. I'm not working with you. Excuse my language, Sandy, if you're here, but I would have been like, no way, I'm not doing this load. They have, you got a check call every single day by a certain time, or you get and it specifically says, or you get fined every day for every call. You got to send paperwork in within 48 hours. An original paperwork must be received by 7 days. Otherwise, you don't. You're subject to a $250 fee, and if they don't receive it within 15 days of delivery, you're subject to. There was all these different terms and all these different rate reductions and all these different things, which is really funny for someone a broker that apparently doesn't have any credit or doesn't have the ability to get credit. If I should have called the guy and just asked him. But I guess these people bugged him so much that he blocked them. He turned off their phone. So my advice to them was, one, overnight the bill of lading, because they said they hadn't done that yet. Overnight the bill of lading. You can either wait the 30 days and hope you're going to get paid, or you could try to make a case with the bonding company and then try to file on their bond. But the bonding company is going to say no, because they already have a copy of his contract. They already know what the terms of the load are, basically, because of the Raycon. It doesn't say anything about paying quickly. So they're just going to say, they'll send something to the carrier or to the broker saying something about it, but they're not going to try to enforce it. They'll ask you to call them when they get paid. But I don't even think you'd be able to file a claim on a bond because the authority, or because the actual rate confirmation, has the 30-day terms on it. So that's just word to the wise. You can't, it sucks for me to say this. It actually hurts. You can't trust freight brokers. Not all of them. You can trust good ones and your favorite ones. See what I did there, Tim, or whatever your name was from before. But the little guys that are just starting out, you have to be very vigilant. If you're a carrier and you're working with a broker, you got to be extremely vigilant with the brokers that you work with and do credit checks. And if they're not approved, any one of you guys that's watching that's going to take the course or do any of that stuff later on, anyone who's watching, you guys need to be set up either financially secure so you can pay your carriers quick pay, or have some sort of setup with factoring, because otherwise you're going to be very hard pressed to find any carriers to pull your freight. Because it seems like now everyone needs factoring. Everyone needs to get quick pays and all that stuff. Sorry, I had to drink water. It's silly because I drink so much water every day. Now I'm like need water all the time. It's weird. But yeah, it sucks for them because the little guys are the ones that need the money right away. You're not doing a load to get paid later, especially if you're factoring, because you need the money, and so I felt for them, and I'm like, I can't do anything about it. I was like, hopefully you follow these steps and try to, go. And I'm like, and if that helps, sign up for Patron and support us. And they did, actually. I think now, I haven't checked today. I'll check right now. I think we have 16 patrons. So the chances of the original, what was it, 5 or 6? Your chances are getting smaller and smaller by the day to win those gift cards. And I'm perfectly fine with that, because the more people that sign up for Patron, the better it is for me. And it allows me to keep doing all this stuff. But let me see. I'm just checking to see how many people we have on Patreon now. I think it's 16, because I think I had 2 or 3 sign up last night. 14. So yeah, so it's 14. The number, 14 people. So right now, I don't know what percentage chance. So I give away, like I said in the little video, I'm doing a gift card giveaway to try to drive people to the Patreon site and to help pay for all the stuff that it cost, all the software and the microphones and the cameras and all that stuff. So what I created was a Patreon account, and you can go there and do $1. You can do 50. You could do 5. You could do 30. You can do any amount. Actually, I think you could just set your own amount, and you'll have access to some of the videos and content that I release online starting next month. That's everyone's going to have it. It's always going to be free, but I'm just going to release some stuff to the people that are doing the Patreon account, because that I should. Plus, you get t-shirts, like the coffee mugs are all going to be like great memes and jokes and stuff like that. I actually got a buddy that's a graphic designer, so I'm going to get him to, and he's funny as shit, so I'm going to get him to make a bunch of like freight joke mugs, and we'll send out mugs every 3 months for free. And so all different stuff. That's just plus You sign up for the Patron, you're supporting Freight Broker Live. You're showing that you like the resource and all the material that I'm producing all the time. And it helps. But all right, let's go. Let's answer some of these questions. Lydia said she wanted to ask for your advice. My husband owns four flatbed trucks here in Dallas. We have been using a load board since he started. I was curious to see how the load board worked and started reading a ton of becoming a broker. We have a couple of shippers that are willing to give us loads, but I'm scared to jump into this without any knowledge. You recommend becoming a broker's agent first? No. Well, see, it's a little bit different for you because you already have trucks. So, I mean, you could be scared about becoming a broker. Lydia, if you're still watching, I don't know if you are because that question was 10 minutes ago, but you could be scared about becoming a broker, but continue watching my videos. That's what I talk about almost every day. Sign up for Patron because a lot of the new stuff that I'm producing starting next week is going to be directly focused at, instead of these videos where I kind of just ramble on for an hour or two, they're going to be focused, it's freight in 8 and freight in 5. So we'll do 5 minutes of just talking about something, or we'll do 8 minutes about talking about a dedicated subject. So about a sales tactic just to get through and run through all the scenarios. We'll spend 5 minutes talking about factoring through and through. We'll spend 5 minutes or 8 minutes talking about dispatching and what to look for in a dispatch service, whatever the topic is on that day. That's what I'm going to talk about. But you should definitely sign up for the Patron, and you should definitely just become a broker. Just pay for a broker because you already have the shipper. You're a carrier already, unless you're just really scared and you don't feel like dealing with it. Then or you don't have the financials to be a broker and you don't want to give up a percentage and all that, then you could become an agent. But then you run into I think if you have direct shippers as a carrier, it's hard to become an agent because you're going to want to continue to, especially if your relationship with the person you become an agent for, if it becomes bad, you're going to be screwed. You know what I mean? They could say, oh, you can't work with this person, or you can, or if you get another big account and they're probably not going to let you. I wouldn't do it. If I had trucks, I wouldn't be an agent for anybody at all. Yeah. I just think it would cause too many conflicts and stuff. So I wouldn't, but yeah, so I have to turn this coffee cup around. It's got a Mets thing on it. And I don't like the Mets, but I live in Florida, and the Mets spring training is right here, so we go every year. But all right, Rishi said, "Do you think the start of the year was slow, and this year is heading towards a recession?" No, start of the year was fine. It's the beginning of that second quarter is where everything took a dive. The freight was good. I was still dispatching. I was making a crap ton of money up until March. And then March, it started coming down, but it's going back up. I don't think recession. I think that's all media talk to get everyone worried, just like all the other crap with, all the other politics stuff that happens every day where everyone just panics and shits on people and does this and does that. It's just a way to get people to panic. It's like a truck driver shortage. If you believe in the truck driver shortage, then you're probably the same person that's out there blabbering about a recession and saying, trucking's going to be it's or automation. We're going to have automated trucks in 2 years. All truck drivers are going to lose their jobs. I mean, it's the same group of people that are all saying the same stuff. I don't think we're heading towards a recession. I think the rates were low and they stayed low for a while, but they're coming up. And I think the rates I don't know. I don't pay attention to them enough. Last year I was dispatching, so I saw a lot more rates. I'm not really moving full truckload now, so I don't see full truckload rates like I used to. But last year, the end of last year was good for us as a dispatch company. When I had my dispatch company, it was good for the carriers that I was dispatching, and I think it's going to come up again as well. So to answer you, the beginning of the year, the first January, February was not slow. March it started taking a dive. April it should have started coming back up, and it didn't. In May, it should have been coming back up, and it just stayed low. June, it started coming up a little bit. July kind of had that weird flux in it, and then it's kind of been coming up, and I think we're above what we were 2 years ago. So that's something. I don't think we're in a recession, nor do I think we're going to be in the freight industry. Who knows with anything else? But Vincent said, I spoke to a few BMC 84 and 85 trust companies. The rates were fair, but the BMC 84 bond agency said there has been some problems with the BMC 85 trust, and I shouldn't go the trust route. That's just a sales scheme. The BMC 85 trust was less expensive by about $450. Yeah, that's because the bonding company didn't do trust, so they're just trying to get businesses. But I don't know the difference in between which one's cheaper, which one's not. I think when I had it, I had a trust as well, just because it did come out cheaper, and so that's what I got. But yeah, it's whichever one's cheaper, and what they serve the same purpose. Nothing, from what I understand, there's no difference between the two in terms of the filing process or anything like that. I think trust actually may be a little bit more quick to be very strict if you do have anyone that tries to file on your bond. I've heard a couple of companies, I forgot the name of it. It was a smaller one that was based here in Florida. But that, as soon as, if you had one claim on your bond, they pulled it, and it didn't matter if it was resolved or not. They pulled it, and most likely they're out of business. But yeah, Corey said tops, buddy. I don't know what that means. Lydia said she's still here. What's up? Don said, hey, Steve, do you have a standard script you use when cold calling new shipper? I've been cold calling this morning and I keep getting tongue twisted. LOL. Well, no, because if you watch my videos, I'm not a big fan of cold calling, nor am I a fan of scripts at all. I actually hate scripts as a sales tool. I think the most important thing is know what you're talking about. You're not going to be able to sell anybody, if you don't know what you're talking about. It's like me going to try to sell pharmaceuticals right now. I don't know anything about them. I'm not going to be successful at it, because they ask me something. I'm not going to have the answer. Make sure you know the industry. Make sure you know the answer to the questions they're asking. And you, once in a while, you can use, I'll have to get back to you on that. I'll look into that. You can't use that all the time. So you have to really know your industry. You have to know what you're doing and what you're, selling. I think that's probably the most important part. I'm not a big script guy, like I said. I'm not a script guy at all, actually. Never liked them. I just don't like them. I think it's very unformatted. It sounds unprofessional. It sounds like you're reading. Like if you watch my videos, when I'm reading something, because it's so small on my screen and I sit so far away from the computer, it looks like I'm right on top, but I'm actually like 5 feet away from my computer. So I keep doing this just to move the mouse or anything. I screw up, and I do the same thing if I'm reading over the phone. I'll jumble, or I lose my train of thought. Something else goes on. I'm not a big script guy, Don. So I don't know. We have sample scripts that I'll have in that class, but I'll say with full disclosures that I do not believe in them. I do not like them. I don't think they're beneficial to use. You just sound like every other robot that calls every day. You should, like for example, I sent an email out this morning through my lead sources or whatever to a company up in Vermont, and they messaged me back and said, your name's very familiar. I can't put my finger on it. I'm like, okay. And then they're like, wait, were you with Northern like years ago? And I'm like, yeah, that was my company like 10 years ago. So I apparently moved freight for this customer like 10 years ago and didn't remember it. And so I got some work from them today just because of that. But it was funny. That's I don't even know why I went there. It's just all right. Mike said, do you people actually fall for the Landstar double brokering when the Russians call Steve? Seems strange people would fall for that. What the hell does that mean? Do you people actually fall for the Landstar double brokering when the Russians call? Seems strange people would fall for that. I don't know what you're asking. You're gonna have to clarify that question, buddy, because I don't get that at all. All right. Lydia said she's going to join Patron. Awesome. That will be awesome. Corey said, hey, Steve, having trouble finding shippers. Any suggestion? How long did it take you to get your first? I don't know. Because like I said, I started different. So I had a carrier side first. So I started with my trucking side, and then I was getting shippers for my trucks. And then I just had overflow freight and needed to hire out people for it. And that's kind of the difference. Yeah, and I mean, it's persistence. Persistence is how you get shippers. Hold on, buddy. I'm putting that link up there. There's a link for Patron, whoever just asked for that. But in terms of I'll go back and try to decipher what the heck you were talking about here. Double brokering. So I heard, hold on, I'll put that link back up because I just took it down. Double brokering is funny. So the reason, let me explain the differences again. I've done it previously in other videos, but I'm going to do it again. So you have something called double brokering and you have something called co-brokering. What Landstar does is not double brokering. As much as everyone likes to say it is, by definition, it is not double brokering. Double brokering is when a carrier takes a load from a broker and without a brokerage authority, or even with, but doesn't tell the carrier or tell the broker they're getting the load from, they reassign it to another carrier. Now, and the reason why I say that Landstar isn't double brokering or isn't meeting that definition of being a double broker, because there's another thing. It's called co-brokering. Now, I know 100% across the board, any broker who books a load with Landstar has agreed to co-broker. It's in the contract. Whether or not they've read their contract, they may not have realized that, but every single time a broker is set up with credit with Landstar, they are signing a co-broker agreement. Same thing that if we book a load, which we don't. I'll never co-broker with because we're not asset based. It doesn't make any sense to do it, but people do it. When I was with a Global Trans, my biggest client was a broker. But the difference, a co-broker is someone who gets a load from a broker and they're utilized. Like think TQL. We talk about it every now and then. TQL will call, it's on their sales list to call new brokers that just got their authority to help them move freight. Now that's because they can't always move it themselves. I used to use Coyote when I had my own authority. I was busy too because I had the trucking company and the brokerage going. But I would give a load to Coyote if I couldn't find capacity for it. One, because I didn't have the credit that was required, or two, I couldn't prepay or I couldn't do something. And at that time I wasn't factoring the brokerage. So I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And so I gave it to Coyote, who I had a line of credit with, and they helped me move the load. I have no problem doing that. That's co-brokering. Double brokering is when a carrier books a load under the premise that it's going on their truck and they give it to somebody else. That is not what Landstar does, because any broker that works with Landstar has to sign a co-broker agreement, whether or not they realize they sign it. And then there's illegal brokering, which is when you don't have a brokerage authority and you're acting as a broker. And that's what a lot of people say the dispatchers fall in that category, because they're saying, they're participating in interstate commerce and you can't work on the bona fide benefit of a carrier if you're working for multiple carriers, which I kind of agree. Which is why I think most brokers or most dispatchers need to have a broker bond. And it's not very expensive. As you guys that are actually doing the work here are finding out, it's not very expensive. But the BMC 85 was with Pacific Financial. Was that the trust? Because they do both. Pacific does both of them. Oh, yeah, no, that was the trust. Yeah, they do both. They do trust and they do bonds at Pacific Financial, unless you're just not getting the option for both. But yeah. I like this guy. Mike said, is there any true secrets to the industry, or is it just hard work and dedication? This is coming from a guy that actually has a brokerage and makes money doing this for a living. No, it's hard work, bud. It's hard work. You know that. It's hard work, and it takes dedication. I have days like today where I make money. Yesterday I made like $600 in commission. Today I made well over 1,000. Well, not well over. I made $1,150 in commission on 2 loads. That is not every day. And if that is every day, then I'd have my dream car out front. It used to be a Porsche Panamera. Now I want a Maserati, blah, 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 whatever the hell that car is. I just like it. Looks nice. And a big ass truck. Because right now I've got 2 cars. I got a 2020 Equinox and the Harley, plus the old Kia that we're just in a loan for and we haven't paid off yet. But yeah, I don't. I mean, we got bills, we got expensive stuff. Like I'll go drop $400 on a stupid microphone. You know what I mean? And then say, I need people to sign up for Patron. But all right, whatever. Corey said, can you add the link to your bio? It may make it easier to access. I don't know what link you're talking about. If you're talking about the Patron thing, it's literally scrolling down below. See, right there. Look, it's on your screen right now. See, well, where's my finger? Right there. See, and it's moving along. It's been there the whole time, and it's on the website. It's on my website because you can either do Patron or you could do the Cash App or PayPal or any other way that you want to do it. And I'm gonna take all like Patron. I'll keep open forever. But eventually, once everything goes through, if I get these advertising plugs and stuff I've been working on, I'm gonna take it down because then I'll be self-sufficient. But right now, it's just I'm trying not to go out of pocket too much for the expenses because it's expensive to make these videos and do all that. But people like it, and I like doing it, so which is why I make them. But yeah, and you said tops means morning. Okay, yeah. I've never heard of it before. Well, top of the morning to you. That's what they say in Oliver Twist or something like that. But Don said, do some customers require a certain level of insurance before they let a carrier move their freight? Yeah, most carriers do. Holy shit. I quoted a stupid amount of money for a load. 1 second, guys. No, it wasn't. This is a different load. I quoted $6,500 for a reefer from California to the East Coast, and he wants to book it. It's going to cost me like $4, but maybe $5. Oh God, if I book this son of a bitch today too, that'll be a good day. Hold on, guys. I know you're here and typing. Hey, I'm going to mute this for a second while I type so you don't hear all that. Bear with me a second. Actually, I'll play the commercial while I type. How about that? There you go. What's up, guys? It's Steve, your favorite freight broker. Wanted to just make this quick commercial and tell you about something that I'm sure you've never heard me say before. Our gift card giveaway. So on the 10th of every month, we go through our list of patrons. We randomize the list. We randomize it 5 times live on the air, and then we choose the top 3, and then we give you either first place gets a $100 gift card, second place gets a $75 gift card, third place gets a $50 gift card. It's going to happen every month on the 10th of every month. Sign up below. It's www.patron.com, Freight Broker Live. See you guys back in the show. All right. Yeah, share the shipper, he says. I just realized I missed a bunch of emails. But that's the only one right now. Yeah. Sorry for that. I know it's pretty annoying to hear it. But yeah, that'll be a good load because if I actually get that, because I already know that I'm going to cover it for like 5, based on the rates. Dry vans were running for like 43. And reefers were running right around 5. So if I get it for 5 and I move it for 65, I'll even offer 55 so I cover it really quick and still make $1,000 on the load, and hopefully. But it's a reefer load too, and I don't like moving them, But the driver needs a tanker endorsement for this thing too, which is different because it's not. They didn't know that. And because I told them all that stuff in the email, it actually worked out better for me because and that's the thing too, if you know what you're doing, but all right. Don, thanks. So the level of insurance, that's what he was asking. So yeah, customers, some do, some don't give a shit. Some don't even check, which is crazy. I had another customer, I sent an email and they're like, listen, we work with asset-based carriers only. And I was like, okay, well, and then what I did is I was like, listen, if you get someone else that works and you're not familiar with them, let me check them. You know what I mean? Let me check them and verify them for you. And that would be me running them through Carrier 411, whatever. But if that was a sales tactic, you know what I mean? And I'm hoping that eventually they'll turn and be like, this guy's good, especially when they get burned by a carrier, which will inevitably happen. They're going to get burned by a carrier, and then I'll be able to cover that load. Corey said, see it. Thanks. I'm doing a good job, buddy. I know why I am. That's why I make the videos. Low G, he moved his first load today. Thanks for the advice from yesterday. I kept pushing and pushing, never hung up the phone. I kept showing up to a customer that kept rejecting me, and they gave me my first shot today. See, that's what I'm talking about. Persistence, buddy. Now, what speaking of persistence, have I told you about Patron? You took my advice and it worked for you, and that's great. Sign up for my Patron so you can follow all my great advice. But I'm glad. But on the real, I'm glad that it worked. I'm glad that my advice worked, and you move some freight. Don, you'll do it. You just got to keep beating up the phone. Keep beating up the phone, and you'll get freight. That's the benefit of being a freight broker. Sometimes it takes a long time, but then when it happens, and you make money. And just keep trying to do it. Keep trying to book freight. Keep trying to make money, because otherwise you're just not going to move freight and you're not going to make any money. And then you're going to be like, oh shit, why am I in this business? You know what I mean? And don't do that. That's my opinion. A lot of people get so excited about the industry, which you should. It's a very exciting industry, but they just think they're just going to just make a crap ton of money all at once. And, it doesn't work like that all the time. Yeah, granted, I've made money. Today I made great money. I've had weeks where I don't make shit. Like here, I'll give you a little. So when I first started with the company here, I moved 3 loads a week before I went on vacation. I moved 1 load while I was on vacation on accident, basically. It was a load that I built in the system, but I didn't take it down or something. Then a carrier called while we were waiting in the airport, and I literally booked it from my phone. But for those 10 days that we're on vacation, I didn't really make any money. And you know what I did on vacation? I spent a shit ton of money with my whole family. We stupidly flew up north and then rented a car and drove all over the place to visit everyone at once, and then flew back down. So it was expensive. It was more money than I wanted to spend on that trip anyway. I'm still bugging my wife about that. But we came back, and then the money wasn't, because it took us a long time to recover. One, we spent too much money. And secondly, that 10 days that we were gone, I didn't make any money because I don't have a salary. I didn't get vacation pay. I make money based on my commission, so I didn't make any money that week. We weren't poor or anything like that, but it took a while to recover the funds. Shit, we're still not even recovering the funds, but that we spent and lost, because even though, I think we spent like $5,000 or something like that. And then if you think about the money that I lost in those 10 days, which was probably another $5,000, from not making money, and then having the mindset when we got back, I was slow to get back to work. That's maybe another $2,500 for the half a week. That's a huge amount of money to try to make back all at once, and we're getting back there. And that's the thing. Never just, and here's a financial tip. I'm not a financial guy or anything. Do what I don't do and stockpile your money. If you have a good day like today, where you're making $1,000, take 500 of that money and just throw it in the bank. Don't touch it, and treat it like you didn't make a bunch of money. And me, like, it's different because my workout and all that stuff, and because I'm, competing, it's different. It's different for me. My mindset's gone. Like, I'm not being focused at work or anything like that. But hold on one second. But yeah, I was just checking another email. But yeah, so that's the deal. All right, let's go through some of these questions. The phone did not dial itself. Dominate your sector, Don. That's it, buddy. That's how. Just keep calling. And like I said, focus on, just like he just said, focus on a niche, however the fuck you say that word. Focus on one targeted area that you're going to approach. Don't just sit and open up Google and call every single company in your area. That's not, you could probably do it and land a customer, but that's not. Know your product, know what you're selling, and know the company that you're calling and trying to get business from. Because if they're like, oh yeah, we got steel coils, and you're like, or steel coils, and you're like, oh man, I'll send a dry van right in there, man. We'll get that shit rolling. They're going to laugh at you. Or if you have a load of lumber and they're like, yeah, we need 8-foot drop tarps. And you're like, what? Wait, what are drop tarps? Or oh yeah, we'll send a dry van in to pick them up. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You have to know the equipment, know the company, know the commodity, know the area even. Have here's a test, and you guys, anyone who's in my course is going to have to do this anyway. But you should know all 50 states and their abbreviations and where they are on a map. Sounds really simple, but if you don't know that, then it's just going to make your job harder. You know, if someone says, hey, I got a load going from Arkansas to California, you want to be able to visualize where that is, where point A is, point B. You want to know if it's going east to west or north to south. You want to know if it's going to a good market or a bad market, because that's going to dictate part of your rate. You don't necessarily need to be like, okay, and be able to spit out the rate off the top of your head. You know, I watched the video with the guys from the other day, and that's what they said. They're like, oh, I can spit out a rate from across the country all the time. It's in my, so can I. If I say $2 a mile, $2.25, a mile. If I ask the mileage to a customer, like if I'm driving down the road and a customer calls me, and because I always answer my phone, if he calls me and says, hey, I need a rate real quick, I give him a disclaimer. Listen, I'll do it based on mileage, but this rate this is just to give you an idea. And then, I'll ask for the mileage. They look it up while they're at the computer because I'm not in front of it. And then I'll say, yeah, $2 a mile, $2.25 a mile, $2.50 a mile, whatever. And I'll just spit out a rate at them, but that's not being accurate. You know what I mean? I don't have the lanes, specific. Well, actually I do for some, the basic lanes, California to Chicago, California to Virginia to back, and Oregon to, Virginia or North Carolina or any of that. I have those rates just because I move them a lot. But yeah, that's that. John said, hey, brother, what's up? Hopefully you got in touch with Mike, John, because that may be a good start for you. Raphael said, what's your favorite commodity to look for to ship? Anything that's going to make me money. Like I said, Raphael, you haven't signed, or I haven't seen your name before. You may watch it and be quiet about it, but ask questions like you're doing. But find that thing that if you like to eat and you're like a olive oil connoisseur, go after olive oil companies. If you really like canned vegetables, pick up that canned vegetable and look on the back and and find the distributor and call them. If you are a computer guy, I mean, that's a little bit different because that's like LTL stuff, but anything like that. Like if you used to work in construction, building materials, go with that. If you used to be a welder, all the different shit that goes on steel, use that. You know what I mean? If you used to, if you were around excavation companies all the time, know that. But yeah, John, that's not going to happen. He keeps saying that to me too. That's not happening. But good luck with that, buddy. Rishi said, yeah, he was struggling to get a shipper when he started this month. He's over 10K in margin. That's it, bud. And that's what happens. You just, I tell you, there's some times that I am just like, because for a while, the first years I was driving a truck, I wasn't doing anything. And I was like, there's got to be something easier, But like I said, I like to drive trucks. I like to be on the road. I like to do that. But yeah, Raphael, make sure you like my page. That's very important because then you'll see, you got to like it and follow it. I think if you follow it, that's when you get the notifications when I go live. But it's pretty much every day till 2:00. Make sure you sign up for Patron too, if I haven't mentioned that before. www.patron.com/FreightBrokerLive. You win a chance to get a gift card. But yeah, for anyone, I think I say it in the video. I don't even remember what's the video. But if you sign up for Patron, most of you guys that are commenting already are signed up, and I appreciate it. I am giving away 3 gift cards on the 10th of every month. I've officially gone above the monthly patronage is above what the $225 that it cost me for the gift cards. So I'll keep pumping out the gift cards every month. You can only win once a month, but you can win month to month to month. I don't care. And you'll see it live. But yeah, go up, sign up for patron.com/FreightBrokerLive and choose something. Even if you do $1, I don't care. It shows support. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, favorite commodities. Just pick the commodity You're stupid if you don't. If you try to, if you know nothing like me, I don't mess with frozen at all. I'm booking frozen now, or not frozen. I'm booking reefer freight. It was just because the bid popped up, and I'm like, let me see what's up. And so I quoted it, and I don't know if I'm going to get it. It would be fucking rad if I get it, but I wouldn't count that for today. I'd count that for tomorrow because it's 3:00. There's no chance I'm getting a carrier on it to pick it up today. Maybe I would. I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, man, that's my show. So I don't really have much else to say. John, no worries. John, are you a patron? If you're not a patron, you should be. I don't know. Let me read through my patrons because I appreciate it and I want to keep giving you guys plugs every day. But let me read through that and then I'm going to end the video. I got to get water and I don't want to play the video again. Holy cow, it's not loading very fast that I'm making the video. All right, so our patrons are, these are the people who are supporters of Freight Broker Live. We've got Amanda. It's not showing the whole name, so if I cut off the end of your name, I apologize. Well, actually, I won't say last names to make it easy. We got Amanda, Brian, Dan Cook with Solid Rock Dispatch. Shout out to you guys for supporting us and all that. It's awesome. We got Donacella. I've helped you out a couple of times. I know that. I really appreciate the patronage. Jamie Newton, what's up, buddy? Javier Sanchez. We got Joe. We got Joshua Regal. You know who you are. We got Mary Stewart. We got Nate Dog. That's what I'm going to call you from now on. You're not. I haven't seen you on this today, but I've talked to you a bunch. We got Ryan. We got Sufi Kaur from last night. I'm glad I could help. Victor Corley, what's up, buddy? And then Vincent Lee, what's up, dude? But I really appreciate everyone that's become a patron. It's super helpful to me. I tell you what, it really does a lot in my head. It makes me want to produce these videos and all that stuff because I know people are receptive to it. You know, I'm not selling you anything. You're saying, hey, I like what you're teaching, and I appreciate it. It helps, and it what's the right word for it? It makes me feel good. Just keep in mind if you sign up now, I just noticed something. If you sign up like today, it's gonna automatically, it charges you again on the first. And I apologize about that. There's nothing I can do. But the best part about that is that becomes 2 months for you. So you get the free coffee or get the coffee mugs and all that after the next month. So that's even better. All the t-shirts and stuff will go out. The coffee mugs, I don't know why I'm not using one for my water cup instead of these other cups, because I should just use the coffee mug so you guys can see that. But yeah, the coffee mug, I'm super excited about that because I'm just going to make like a really stupid joke one, or like brokers be like, or something like that, with a joke or a broker joke, or like an internal joke for us. And I think it'll be fun. I think you guys will enjoy it. But yeah, that's my show. Like I said, if you have questions or anything like that, feel free to message me. I prefer you do it in the group, but you can message me and I'll try to answer, try to do the best I can. But I'm not going into like grave detail. I'm not going to have a bunch of phone conversations like I've been doing with people, because my time is valuable and I could be booking freight and making money. I already take an hour. Well, actually, I take like 2 hours of my day to make the videos for everybody. But if there's something I can help with, I'll do it, because I want everyone to hold on one second. See, I may have got another one too. It's 3 o'clock though, man. I don't like to move. So like this customer, they have a load from Pennsylvania down south. I quoted them $1,700 for a full truckload. They said they have a quote for $1,395. Can I beat that rate? Nope, not touching it. 13. In all honesty, a carrier is going to charge me 14. I was trying to make $300 on a brand new load, but yeah, I can't do that. It's not worth it. It's for me to deal with the problems with booking loads, it's just not worth it. But all right, guys, I'm going to take off from this video. Make sure you like my videos. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. Make sure you do all that stuff. Oh, we reached 1,000 likes yesterday. How is that? That's like less than 2 months. We're at 1,000 likes. That is awesome. I was super stoked when I saw that yesterday. I just said stoked. It's time to end the show. See you later. Bye.